Hey guys, welcome back to CLOWNFISH TV. This is Kneon. I'm here with Geeky Sparkles.
Hello.
And is the worst over for Disney?
I think that's up for debate.
I think it's up for debate too. We're going to talk about Disney, kind of where they're at right now, Disneyland reopening and how they're getting some pushback from that, and how some people feel that, you know, maybe things aren't going as well as could be hoped for the other parks in Orlando, and talk that the thing we can't talk about, coronavirus, we can talk about.
You're allowed to talk about it now.
Yeah, I like the thing we can't talk about. It makes it sound naughtier.
It's like the Voldemort of YouTube.
It is. That it might actually boomerang again, and could that affect the parks? We don't know. Then we're going to talk about some rumors.
They're not wearing their masks right.
They're
it's
not
over their nose.
Oh, Mickey.
Just pointing that out.
And then we're going to talk about, you know, some more rumors about things that might be delayed and postponed because of the financial hit. Canceled. The financial hit that Disney is taking. So, before we get into it, please subscribe for more pop culture news, views, and rants.
That's right.
Yeah, please do that. So, this is coming from The Motley Fool. The Motley Fool can't decide whether or not Disney is in good shape or bad shape.
It depends who's writing the article, because in the same day you'll see like different articles from different authors that say opposite things.
Yeah, so this is coming from The Motley Fool today from Daniel Klein. And they're talking about how the company was hard hit because they were basically closed for, well, an entire quarter, and then part of it, so like a quarter and a half.
Well, the last quarter they did really crappy when they had the earnings call, and they were closed for most of it. There's only a couple weeks they were open. And this quarter that's coming up, ending the end of this month, they were closed the entire time. And there's been no movies either.
Yeah, so we're going to talk about that. They said the numbers are almost certainly going to be worse in the third fiscal quarter.
No kidding.
They're going to look on the bright side that they are opening as the theme park and movie business segments have been closed. The good news is that Disney Plus has been growing much faster than expected.
Well, that's not enough to save their asses. I'm sorry.
No, but overall, it's a bleak picture for Disney, at least in the short term.
Right. I mean, I honestly think long term they'll come back out of this in a few years. But now they have a lot of debt they have to pay back too. But short term, I don't expect it to look too good because a lot of people are canceling. I am on a lot of Disney boards. A lot of people are saying the same thing. People that are locals went to check out Disney Springs or whatever, and they said it was so damn hot and they couldn't breathe in their masks. They aren't even probably going to even try to go to the parks until when this is over and they don't have to wear masks, or they aren't renewing their annual passes till after this is over and that they don't have to wear masks. I'm hearing that for a lot of people. And of course, there's a lot of people that are, I'm going anyway no matter what. You know, and that's great. Go for it. But there are, a lot of people that are saying that they're not going to go until it's more open. They don't have to worry about wearing the masks.
Yeah, I don't think a lot of people realize that just because Disney's open again doesn't mean that it's going to return to business is going to return to usual, its usual operations. It's obviously not going to because they do have a lot of protocols that are going to be in place. They're going to have limited capacity. A lot of stuff's not going to be open.
You're not allowed to park hop now. Just being in a hotel doesn't mean that you're going to get into the parks. You're going to have to have advanced reservations. I'm not sure what this is going to mean for annual pass holders yet. It's going to be very different.
Yeah, and I don't know how it's going to go. Like, I think a lot of people are going to be excited to go at first, but then I think they're going to get there and they're going to be like, oh, this mask thing is not good. And we're going to talk about that a little bit later, but they said there are some good signs. Mulan appears to be on track for theatrical release in July. Are they still doing that?
Yes, they are still doing it. Now, because everything getting shifted around, it's probably going to be the first big movie released when the theaters reopen. That could go either way. Honestly, it could be everybody goes to the theaters because they've been missing the movies, but I think a lot of people are going to be too afraid to go to the theater.
Yeah. If their theaters are reopening. Now, AMC, they're talking that they're going to try to reopen all their locations, but the damage has been pretty catastrophic. And they're talking overseas that they could be losing like 40%. Theaters.
I mean, I might go to see Mulan, maybe, but I would go to the theater that's the locally owned theater, not the AMC theater, the one that the person...
it's spaced out.
Because it's very spaced out already. I would go there before I'd go to one of the other theaters.
So, the current quarter will be dreadful, but the worst may be over for the House of Mouse.
I don't think the worst is over.
I think this is going to have a long tail on it. I think we're going to see Disney go into kind of its own like theme park recession like we saw after 9/11.
I think so. And we're already seeing that they're going to try to force people to pay more if you want to go. You thought it was bad before, back when they were doing well and they were making record profits and getting, record-setting dividends and all this other shit they were going on about. They were also doing now you have to pay for parking at the hotels, and now the price of this went up $2 and the price of that went up $5, and everything was already being gouged because they were trying to gouge the customers they had. Well, now we're talking with the reopening. The only hotels that are going to be open for you to stay in initially are the deluxes or the DVC hotels, which are the ridiculously expensive ones.
Yeah.
So, and being at those hotels doesn't guarantee you access to the parks.
Yeah, there's a lot of issues here. So, they said that they're talking about the NBA coming to ESPN Wide,
and also soccer is coming. They're going to be in the Swan and Dolphin.
But here's the thing. The next few months won't be easy for Disney. Even if the theme parks sell out, they're less profitable running at half capacity.
And, water is wet. What is this, Captain Obvious for this article?
Yes, it is. Well, what they're talking about is the worst over for Disney, because I think they're looking at it from the stock point of view. And I don't know if it is. It says Disney still faces a lot of challenges, but safe to say that barring another virus-related shutdown, the worst has already happened.
Well, in that regard, yes, I guess.
Operating with reduced capacities and showing movies in half-empty theaters will constrain profits, but it's better than nothing. I
agree, but now they have how much debt they owe. They have to repay back that they didn't have before. So it balances out.
So here's the problem. Because, barring another shutdown, the word is that the coronavirus cases are seeing an uptick in Florida. Mm-hmm. So will this...
There's an uptick where we live, too, actually.
There is, because now we're green.
They went to green, and green still means caution. Green still means you wear masks. It's recommended. No one is. And we had been leveled at, very few cases. It was stabilized and stayed that way for a long time. And it has almost tripled since they went to green. And now we've had a death in our area, and we weren't anywhere near that before. So, I'm not going to make this a political thing, so don't even start with politics. I'm just saying, from where we're at and from what we're seeing at other things, there is a definite uptick when people are going out more and more and thinking it's safer. It might not be safer yet.
So there's a petition on change.org to actually push for Disneyland in California to open at a later date. And they've got 32,000 signatures. This is kind of crazy. I didn't think they would have that many, but people just aren't comfortable with a lot of the policies that they're going to have, apparently, with the masks and everything else. So I gotta wonder, part of me is like, okay, well, let's hope this isn't gonna be the case, but could it pick back up again before Disney opens and then be like, hey, maybe we want to hold off on this?
I think at this point, even at this point, I think if it does pick back up, they're not going to do a shutdown, because they all took so much shit over the shutdown, and we had lots of more suicides, and a lot of people just couldn't take being contained, and I think honestly it's aggravating a lot of situations that are happening now.
I agree with that.
They're not going to. They're trying to go for herd immunity now, so they're not going to. I doubt highly they would do the shutdown again. They just would be more strict in their rules.
Yeah, so I mean that's what I was wondering, was like, is this thing gonna boomerang? We talked about that before too. Like, what if it even dies down over the summer and then comes back in the winter? Are they gonna shut it down again, or just be like, here's a big sign up disclaimer? You walk in, well, you're already.
They already have disclaimer.
Yeah. You come into our parks, you're potentially gonna get infected.
Whether or not you believe in the masks or anything like that, we're not making it a political issue here. So you know what? Don't even. But whether or not you believe in that, it doesn't really matter. The point is, they are requiring them at the theme parks in Florida. It was one of the requirements to be allowed to reopen to the public was you had to wear masks. Everybody knew it was a dumb idea. However, it was a qualification, because they weren't going to let you open if you weren't wearing a mask. If you don't like it, don't go. Problem solved. Well, now people are showing up at the parks, but they're not wearing masks. And that was the requirement and the agreement to be allowed to open. And what's going to happen is, if it gets really bad, they'll shut them down again.
Yeah.
And then it's going to be on these people because they didn't follow the rules.
Well, that's what I'm wondering. Now, again, these aren't Disney parks, Disney Springs. As I understand it, they actually will follow you around.
Oh, yeah. From my understanding, Disney's they're on that.
Ridiculously
overly. Don't you dare have that partially out of your nose. You better put it where it belongs.
You better put your face where it belongs.
That's right.
But At SeaWorld, I've been watching this guy's video.
I've heard from other people too about SeaWorld.
Yeah, this is Theme Park Express. I've been watching his videos, and he's been going out to the parks that are open. He said that some are doing it better. He said Universal was hit or miss. We've actually had people come to us and say that Universal was doing a really good job.
But I also heard people say, besides him, that there were some people without the masks on. And there was a great area. They even give you an area to take the mask off.
Yeah.
But people weren't. But I mean, it's also Florida with the heat and humidity. And I'm like, heck, I have a heck of a time going just to the hospital to do a test and there's air conditioning with the mask on because I have asthma. So I'm sure, I see both sides of this argument. I really, truly do. But it's their location. If masks are required, you have to wear them or just don't go.
Yeah, now SeaWorld, it doesn't seem like they're really...
It's required for SeaWorld, though. I know for a fact it is, because I covered it when they announced it. I just did a thing the other day when the CEO was talking about guidelines. It was required.
Yep. He said he went to SeaWorld and the park was full of entire families without masks. So,
how'd they even get in?
They got in with the mask and then they took the mask off once they got in the park.
Because I know it's required.
Yeah. Now Disney, I think, is going to be more strict about it.
I guarantee you, Disney's going to be real strict about it. Going by Disney Springs, just they're going to make you wear that mask.
Yeah, because they can't afford, let's be honest, Disney, one, they literally cannot afford to stay shut down. The longer the parks stay shut down, the more likely it is that Disney is going to have a fire sale and start selling off assets because they can't afford to, because the parks bankroll everything. People, I don't think they understood until the shutdown, like how much the theme parks, how much revenue that generates for Disney. But beyond that, there's already talk just for them being down for a couple months that they're going to cancel a bunch of projects.
Right. We've already been talking about that. It's still up in the air about the Star Wars hotel, the Star Cruiser. Some people are saying that is going to be canceled. People say that it isn't. That one's, is on the rumor list of cancellations. But they have just added the Reflections of Disney Lakeside Lodge to the list of probably canceled because you got WDW Magic, which, of course, I love it. Some, Mr. Penguin here is like, when it's something he believes in, it's all true. But he questions everybody else all the time.
He doesn't like us very much.
He's a very salty penguin.
He is. He doesn't like us very much.
But I do agree with him on this one. He said, that there were some questions about the Tron site, and some people were reporting that the Tron site was back up and running, but I'm also hearing it isn't. And then another cast member, apparently, or insider, most likely a cast member, said they received word Project 89, which is the Reflections Lodge, has been canceled, and crews have been seen on site removing the rebar and concrete. And they also said that the reason the Tron work has stopped is because they can't get concrete until October.
Yeah.
So they need the concrete to move forward. So it's coming from there. And then DVC Fan, it's a website. They actually went and looked, and they said that they went and dug, and they said that all the talk of it on Disney Vacation Club and Disney Parks blog websites were it was kind of gone. It just
nebulous. We're just gonna. That's gonna.
Or it's not searchable or whatever.
Yeah, I think we're gonna see a lot of projects that were discussed that sort of just kind of disappear for a while.
Well, I was hearing that some of the things that might disappear, Reflections, the Star Cruiser. Well, of course, Tron isn't going to because they're too far into it. Yeah. And, the Guardians of the Galaxy and Ratatouille, I expect to still progress. They're going to have to do something with Epcot because the spine's all tore up. But they're pushing back Spaceship Earth. That's what we're hearing. They're not doing that refurb right now. That's going to be closed. Wonders of Life, they're supposed to be doing some play area. That might get nixed or at least postponed.
What about the that weird-looking triple-decker...
Yeah, that's probably one of those things that would be, cut.
But that was, they knocked down Interventions to make room for this festival.
They're going to have to do something. What they'll probably do is get everything up and running, up to a place where you don't need the walls, and then put a pin in it and come back to it at a later time.
And that could be like 5 or 10 years. It could be a while.
The only reason I see them pushing that through is because it might not be that expensive to build, and they were going to upcharge it to use it as a special fireworks location spot. Yeah. So that's the only reason that they could make money off of it. That's the only reason I can see that one. But a lot of things, they said a lot of the 50th anniversary plans have been scrapped. They're going to do some things for the 50th, but some other things were pulled. So, but these are all rumor. On
the plus side, if they have to save money, chances are they will not be able to blow through all the parks and change any potentially problematic rides just yet.
Oh no, they'll probably be at the top of the list.
Oh, that'll be at the top of the list?
Because they have to make good for Twitter.
Okay, yeah, let's make Twitter happy.
That's exactly what they'll do. They'll probably wait a few months to make sure, see if it dies down, and then if it doesn't die down, they'll do that.
Twitter, which was so toxic that Disney wouldn't even buy it.
But now they can dictate everything.
Right, now they dictate everything. So, I don't know. We'll see. Is the worst behind Disney? I don't know. I still think there's going to be a long tail. I think that we're going to see stuff get gone.
I think there's going to be problems that are just going to shift in what they are. Does that make sense? Like, I don't know if the worst might be over. Maybe. Unless something goes really bad with the reopening and people getting sick, and then it might not be. But I don't know. I think there's going to just be problems that morph into other problems. So it might be better. It might be the same. It's hard to tell yet. I just think it's going to shift into what it is. There's no way to avoid it.
Yeah, I still look for them to sell off some divisions. Disney's been pummeled pretty hard. I would not be surprised if they just fold Marvel Comics.
I don't know. I just know that I'm hoping that this humbled them a bit, and they realize you can't just continuously, sit on your throne of money and like Scrooge McDuck, and then, at least Scrooge McDuck wouldn't gouge people the way they do. He gouges people, but I think they're worse, and that's saying something. They're
worse than Disney. That's their new motto. Disney, we're worse than Scrooge McDuck.
I still stand by that. Some of their way they kept just upping the prices on people because they thought, it's a never-ending stream of money, and that was a lot of it was cheap heck. Never-ending stream of money coming in. We're always going to have money. Look at us. Let's just go overspend on Fox, and let's not save any money. Let's just go do this project and that project and overextend ourselves because nothing could possibly go wrong. Everybody's just throwing money at us. We'll just throw our name on it, and then just lay down on their wallets. We'll get the vacuum cleaner and suck the money out as soon as you walk in. It's all good. And then this all happened. So I'm hoping that they have learned that they're not as infallible as they thought they were, and that, empires always fall.
Yeah, I think that's going to be the one takeaway that, the companies that survive this are going to have to realize, we better have 6 to 12 months of cash reserves. Just money socked away for a rainy day because it could rain again, and it could rain really, really hard next time.
Well, then they have and what about the interns and stuff? They don't have a college program coming. So maybe Disney's takeaway will be that, one, we shouldn't we should appreciate our guests. We should appreciate our cast members, and and maybe we'll see some changes for the better. And that's what I'm hoping for, because I want to see changes for the better.
Yeah. Hopefully they'll learn a lesson. Not hold my breath, but hopefully.
Well, I am, because I very much want to see changes for the better, so I can be like, I like Disney, and I'm allowed to say it,
Yeah. All right, so we're going to wrap this one up?
Yep.
Okay, please subscribe for more pop culture news, views, and rants, and we'll talk later.
Bye.
Hey guys, thanks for watching Clownfish TV. Please consider supporting the channel. Go to clownfishsupport.com. That's clownfishsupport.com. And if you want to join our community, go to clownfishtalk.com. That's clownfishtalk.com. Please subscribe, ring the bell for notifications. We will talk to you next time.